Hello, this is the 7.25 tutorial. We're going to go ahead and start a new drawing. Make sure to load the proper template file. Mine is saved under Done Documents, McFatter Templates. Then we're going to load the McFatter ACAD. And here I'm just going to close out my properties. I'm also going to turn off the grid so it's easier to see. This next step you do not have to do. Going to insert and attach an image of the problem we're working on today. So now we can clearly see the object that we're going to be working with today. This is going to be a very straightforward piece. We're going to do the base, which is 9.5 inches. Now, to go ahead and make sure we're working in fractions, we're going to go ahead and change our units. U-N-I-T-S, enter. And instead of being in decimal, we're going to change it to fractional. Now, our precision, we can look at the problem and see that our lowest precision is at 30 seconds. But as a good habit, I like to go ahead and make my fractionals a little bit lower than that. The reason why I do that is that if I have anything that is less than that, it will show it to me. But if anything is with a higher value fraction, it'll automatically round it off, so you don't have to ever really see the 64th. It's one of the things about fractions that it always rounds up to the highest number. All right, okay. Let's go ahead and set up our dimension styles while we're here. DIM style. I could go ahead and click on the dimension style icon right here. I'm going to modify. Under primary units, let's go ahead and make sure we're set up for our fractional. And I'm going to change the lowest value again, 64th. And then hit OK and close. Now we can go ahead and start drawing our line. But you know what, a good idea to go ahead and do before we do that, thing I always tend to forget, that was just a very good habit to make sure you're always doing it, is to save your drawing. You have a file with it saved, go ahead and put it in the folder, your chapter 7 folder. And we're going to name the drawing 7.22 or 25. All right, give that a save. Now at the top, it'll now say the file. So now we know if there's ever a power outage or anything like that, our drawing will at least have the potential of having a backup. But always try and make sure you save. All right, let's go ahead and start with our drawing. Start at the Home tab with the line command. Point it across. Now, to type this in, it's very important when you're typing in a fraction. Type in your whole number, which in this case is 9. Then you can use the little negative, typically referred to as a dash. Okay, and then the fraction. So 1/2. As you can see, 9-1/2. All right, we're going to go ahead and hit enter. And it's going to bring it to where it needs to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw a line coming from that line from the midpoint, coming up. And that line is going to go up 6. Type that in. 6, enter. Now, I didn't have to worry about the other dimension that's here, this 4 3/4. I'll go ahead and I'll put a linear dimension on here just to show you. But that is half of our 9.5. And because I have the object snaps, I was able to find that midpoint. Remember, use your object snaps and make sure your object snaps are on as needed. All right, now that I've placed that in, I'm now ready to start working on my circles. I have 2 circles. I have a radius of 2. Let's go ahead and draw that out real quick. Circle command, radius. Gonna go right to the endpoint and type in the radius of 2. The next circle is a diameter. So let's go ahead and change our tool to diameter. And that's going to be 1. Let's go ahead and type that in. 1 dash 25 / 32. Enter. And there's our second circle. Now, to go ahead and make these diagonal lines that are going across here, these are actually a tangent snap. Okay? That's why we need the whole circle right now. We're going to go ahead and start a line command on the left end point, and we're going to bring it up. Now, I do not have to turn ortho off because object snap will break ortho. I'm just going to go ahead and touch that. And you see how it automatically starts moving over to it. All right. So avoid the nearest spots if you have nearest on. We want to make sure we get that tangent. Okay. Once tangent is indicated, you can click on that. Right click, enter. Right click, repeat command. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab the right hand side of that line. And I'm going to bring it up just like I did before. And then move it across until I get my tangent snap. Right click, enter. If you're not seeing your tangent, make sure you turn it on. Just see a check mark right here. If you don't have this icon at all, then make sure you turn it on. All right. So now let's go ahead and trim this out. I'm going to use these 2 lines here and here to cut away at this. No longer need this line here. Then I'm going to select the whole object, and I'm going to change it to an object layer. Let's go ahead and take a look at it on our sheet layout. Let's go ahead and do it 8.5 by 11. Let's go ahead and get into the viewport, double clicking. Center that best we can, and we'll look at the scale. I don't believe this is going to fit at 1:1, so I'm going to go ahead and do it at 1:2. And there we go, nice and clean, big area. So we now know that the scale that we need for this is 1:2. Let's go back to our model space. We're going to change our scale here to 1:2. I'm going to move this out of the way. You don't have to worry about that. All right, now we can go ahead and start annotating. We're in the annotations. Let's go ahead and make sure we're doing our line types. Let's start with the center line, get that out of the way. Go ahead and annotate, center mark, and click on the largest circle. That puts our center line in place. Back to the Home tab, change this to the Anno layer. And now we can go ahead and start our dimensions. Do a linear dimension from here to here to get our overall. And then we'll go from here to our center line and pull that down. Place it approximately here. Then we need our height. going from here to here. And then we need our 2 dimensions, one of them being a radius, selecting on the arc and pulling it across, and the other one being our diameter. Change diameter and place that in place there. And then I'm going to hit the escape key, selecting both dimensions. I'm going to right click, go to properties. Since they're both circle dimensions, I can select them both and then tell under lines and arrows where the center mark is to none to remove the extra center marks that I have there. Hit escape key. All right, so we're looking good there. Go to our sheet, take a look at it. Maybe we could use a little bit more centering. Just bring it a little bit more to the center. If I don't like the grid, I can turn the grid off for visual. Check it out, look at the drawing. Everything looks nice and clean. At this stage, you're going to want to put your project, the scale, drawn by, the date, and sheet 1 of 1. Remember, in order to change these, double click, type in what you need to type, and then click on the outside. All right, once you're done with this, let's go ahead and save our drawing. Then the next step we're going to want to do is go to print this. Go to print. It comes up asking if we want batch plotting. We're going to go ahead and continue with a single plot. And then if you use the correct template, everything should be laid out accordingly for you. Monochrome printer is a drawing to PDF, and we're all set on everything. You hit preview, take a look at your drawing. If everything is correct, then we'll go ahead and we'll exit out of that, and then you'll go ahead and hit the print button. Once you print, make sure you save your PDF in your PDF folder and turn in your work accordingly. This has been your 7.25 lesson, and I'll see you in the classroom. Bye-bye.